This will be the second time that I'm filming this video, but honestly, I think that it turned out better this way. I did the whole unbagging on camera, and I wanted to go through each bag one by one, and I explained everything as I saw it. I described what it looked like. I described the fabric content, how I thought it wore, and honestly, the fact that my audio was botched could not have turned out better, because I decided after that I was going to do the try on and do that whole video first and then come back and then do this part, which honestly, after wearing the clothes and seeing how they felt, seeing really how they wore, how they functioned, it changed my perception of a lot of the pieces. So not only did my view on a lot of the pieces change, but I have a lot more detailed, updated views. I even took notes on some of them that I felt were very important. So I want to start out with everything in order. So I picked this out first, and this is a blazer. So first I want to show you what it looked like on the website. Since we're working on the concept of combining both fast fashion and sustainability, I know it sounds like an oxymoron, right? How can it be sustainable when also shopping fast fashion? So a lot of us have been in points of our life or are in those points now where you have no choice but to shop fast fashion. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, why can't you just shop sustainably, go to thrift stores? That's not always the option for everybody. And I was one of them at one point. So right now, when it comes to thrift stores, I am really spoiled for choice. There's just thrift stores everywhere. I have really good ones, and I could easily build entire wardrobes and never have to go into a regular fast fashion or any store ever again if I just shop at thrift stores. But there are people in places, and I've learned about them through doing my thrift store hauls, where they would comment and say that they don't have thrift stores in their area, and just a lot of people just explaining their issues when it comes to thrift stores. So I'm going to name 3. So why don't people just shop sustainably instead of supporting fast fashion? I'll tell you 3. Well, if you're on a shoestring budget and every penny is accounted for, then obviously a thrift store would be the better bet for you. But one being, you live in an area that doesn't have any thrift stores. There are people who genuinely do not have thrift stores in their area. 2, the thrift stores that you do have junk. They have power tools, they have granny panties, nothing in there is of use. 3rd, plus size. Plus size is an incredibly hard thing to come by, particularly when you're shopping in thrift stores. So when you see me going through thrift stores, if I see something that I really like and it happens to be plus, I will leave it alone purely for that reason. To add a 4th, as just sort of a bonus, I have a friend in Sweden who mentioned that the thrift stores in her area have now become sort of the popular thing. It's the cool, on-trend thing to do to shop in thrift stores. So that being said, their thrift stores are actually more expensive than any other clothing store. So it's actually cheaper for them to shop fast fashion than it would be to just go into a thrift store, which is kind of ridiculous. So I hope that trend falls out of fashion quickly. But what I'm trying to do here is I want to try to combine sustainability as well as fast fashion. And how do we do that? Well, we try to maximize the amount of items that we can get, as well as the quality of the items, to where their life is extended. So you're not getting something that is going to last 2, 3, maybe 4 wears and then fall apart on you. Then that's not really sustainable. We want things that are actually going to last you a good few years. And I have managed to acquire some pieces which I've had for the last 6 years now, and they're still going strong. So that is a testament to being conscientious when you're buying fast fashion. So I want to try to help you along with that. So first thing I got was a blazer. And I was mentioning fabric in my last video, and polyester you're taking a risk with. The reason I said stay away from polyester is not because polyester is necessarily just an all-around bad fabric. A lot of people in the comments said, well, you know, hey now, polyester is not so bad, and that's true. However, when you're dealing with fast fashion, they're gonna tend to use the cheapest quality fabric, so you might want to stick with the ones that it's really hard to mess up, like for example, cotton. Someone mentioned viscose. The blazer. How do we remain sustainable? Well, how about a jacket that also doubles as a dress? And that's what I went with this blazer. So this can be worn as a dress. It buttons up. You can wear just a regular tank top or whatever underneath, anything you want, and then some tights and some boots. And alternatively, you can wear it open with pants, open with a skirt. You can really do a lot of different things with this. So if you have one piece that's versatile, that's one thing that we can do to make it sustainable. Now, as far as polyesters go, I was really surprised. it's not bad. So fabric content reads 95% polyester, I think it was. 95% polyester and 5% elastane. So as I said, as far as polyesters go, this is not bad. It has that telltale sheen to it, but honestly, I kind of like the effect. I went through this like a crazy person. It's well put together. Will it last you? Yes. So if I'm going to recommend something to you that will have staying power, that you're going to have and is worth spending the money on, I would say this. It's versatile. You can do so many things to it. You can add brooches to it. You can add pins to it. You can add little chains to it. You can dress it up in any way, and you can also wear it as a dress versus wear it with as an accessory to something. But this is one of those things that you would probably wear with everything. And when I was younger, blazers, I loved them. I still have a thing for blazers because, as you probably have noticed, I always tend to grab them and gravitate toward them. So this is one of those things that I would say, is it worth it? Yeah. Is it well made? Absolutely. Should you be very cautious when buying anything polyester from fast fashion? Also, yes. This is something that my opinion changed on dramatically when I put it on. So this is supposed to go with the blazer. So I had a whole look kind of put together. So it's a high neck fishnet top. The thing about this fishnet top is it's not your typical sort of stretchy nylon fishnet that's the same material as tights. This is different. This is probably akin to something that your laundry basket is made from. That being said, it does not have that much stretch. So definitely size up. I'm a size small normally. I went with a medium, and look at that waist. So another thing, see this? Remember when I said no stretch? When I went to put this on to do the try-on video, my hair and makeup was already done. This doesn't stretch. I had to pull this over my face, which eyebrows just down, smeared down my face. That was not the look that I was going for. So bear in mind that this will be tight. So if you do get this top, is it durable? Absolutely. It's got a lot of give to it, but make sure you size up, because if this thing is too tight, you're going to feel it right in the armpits, right here, and it's going to come away and it's going to rip. So you want to make sure that you get one a little bit bigger than you would normally get. So also take extra care when you're putting it on. Do your makeup after. Trust me. This skirt. What I liked about this is it is a replica of a 1940s fan girdle, or a fan lace girdle. And I always really liked them. I love the look of them. The thing about this, the fan laces were a pain in the ass. See how to tie it? Because the lace is pulled down. I had to spend a lot of time pulling here and then pulling here and then this one and that one, because each one is connected in a different way. And it took me almost an hour. But once I got them situated, I finally got this bit down. It was super long, and then I clipped it, tied it, and now it's finally in wearable condition. But it was just be forewarned that you're going to have to deal with the laces. So another thing about this, is it well made? Yes. One thing you have to be careful of, zipper. Remember I talked about the zippers? So the thing about zippers when it comes to anything with fast fashion is you really need to be aware of the fabric that it's used on, and you have to be aware of the type of zipper that it is, because they're not often put together well, because a zipper can really make or break an outfit. And I mean break, like you won't be able to wear it. So this type of zipper is a lot easier. It doesn't actually touch the fabric. So this is a good one. It has like kind of the exposed metal. The teeth aren't going to be touching anything. And I kind of did one of these things where I just kept doing this, checking to see if it would seize up. If this were a fabric that didn't have stretch to it, that's something that would concern me. But since this is a very elasticated kind of pleather, so the thing about the way that these were worn, typically they were worn higher up, like just under the bust, not quite under the bust, but almost. This wasn't designed for that. This was to be kind of worn on the hips like a regular mini skirt, but to get the full effect of that, you want to hike it up a little bit. And you can achieve that look. It's not going to look too ridiculous. You just want to make sure you lace this bit a little bit tighter, which I did. because this was out. There was more of a gap here, so I laced it a bit tighter so you can get that kind of true 1940s fan lace girdle look. It would be really useful if you would learn some kind of just basic sewing skills. You know, YouTube has a lot of really helpful videos on just basic hand sewing, because a really quick little stitch, let's say for example anywhere in here, if it happened to come away, would save you a big headache. But what I always tended to do as a general rule is get a tiny pair of little tight black shorts to wear under things as kind of insurance. So that way if anything rips, your butt's not out. So with this, to avoid any kind of wrinkling, fold it in half once and just store it flat. Otherwise you're gonna have wrinkled pleather and it's gonna be a nightmare to unwrinkle. Accessories. Accessories are your friend. Load up on as many as you possibly can, because what they would do to a look is just completely elevate it. And just your basic black bodycon dress, right? You could wear that dress all week long and no one's gonna know that it's the same dress if you just keep changing up your accessories. I promise you, I've done it. Now, here's the thing about this harness, and please be aware. See this? They wanted to make it cute, right? Little buckle. Not very practical if you want to get it off. So, I'm just going to show you. So I put this on. See, it's a little bit hard to put in there, right? Should be a red flag. And the heart clasp, little buckle, clips right behind. So allow me to demonstrate something. See that? Cute, heart. I see what they were going for. So, push that through, right? Imagine that behind your neck and you're trying to get it off with the pressure of your neck pushing against it. Even if you're not claustrophobic, it's instant panic. So just be aware. Would I recommend this? Yes. Would I recommend that you take extra care and caution when it comes to these bad boys? Absolutely. I got really excited over this dress because I have a thing for layers and asymmetry and a bunch of, I'm kind of one of those people where the more fabric, the better. I love like fabric, and I want to I like caftans and oversized things. And I like the draping of this. I like the asymmetry of it. Is it well made? I mean, see there? Hopefully it illustrates as much as I'm trying to show you, but it's kind of come away a little bit here. Now, when I pull it, it's not coming away, which is good. However, it's just a lot of stray threads, which concerns me a little bit. So if you just do a really quick little lock stitch right here, you'll be able to reinforce that and it won't be an issue. But luckily it's nowhere precarious like the butt or something. This is my most feared zipper. It's made to look like there's no zipper there at all, which is useful. However, I don't mind an exposed zipper. I quite like the look, but for a lot of people, you know, they quite prefer, like, surprise, right? Now, when it comes to zipper entry, here's the problem with these zippers. See how close it is to the fabric? The fact that it's concealed like that means the fabric is very close together because it's supposed to look like just a seam, not a zipper at all. The problem is, oftentimes, if you're not careful, the fabric will get caught in the zipper. And particularly with this type of fabric, which is meant to be kind of a satiny kind of fabric, it'll tear immediately. So I always try to find ways to slip things on and off without having to use the zipper, but since this is a high neck, you have to. So great care and caution it would need to be taken with this. And as you can see, I tried this on once. You'll see in the video, that was it. And I want to be able to show you, right? There are bits of thread that is stuck right up here. These are things, when introduced to the teeth of a zipper, it'll cause it to seize up right away. And nothing will render a dress or any kind of garment completely useless and unwearable when you can't get into it, when you can't open it, when you can't close it. If every penny is accounted for and you're looking to splurge, I don't know if I would recommend this dress. And the only reason is because of this zipper. if you take extra care and caution when putting this on. Now the zipper is right behind you, so it's going to be very difficult to do it yourself. If you have someone else to do the zipper for you and they are super, super careful, then I say go for it. Otherwise, it's that one thing that concerns me. That and just kind of reinforcing these little corner bits here, this bit there. Actually, this bit's not so bad, because it's not actually whipping. It's just sort of exposed here, which concerns me. So would I recommend this? I would probably say be very cautious, particularly anything that has these hidden zippers. But did it look good on? Yeah, I really did like it. This dress I got because it reminded me of what the girls were wearing in the video for A Flock of Seagulls I ran. I'm a sucker for new wave, so came with a belt, but remember I said accessories are your friend? You're not really going to need this unless you want to use it for something else. It's a very stretchy pleather material, and the reason that it's important that it's stretchy is because, again, didn't know it had this hidden zipper. Again, these things get caught on fabric, so the reason it's important that this is stretchy, we can bypass the zipper and pretend that it doesn't exist at all and just slip it right over yourself. Make sure that, I don't care if you have to grease yourself up, it slides right on. It slid on me perfectly fine, and it has enough stretch that if you're slow and careful, you can do it. And the top part is baggy anyway, so you don't have to worry about, like, you know, ripping anything. So as far as size, I'm generally a size small, and I went with a small. And actually, you can see in the video that it is, you know, it's a true small. So I'm a small, this is a small, it fit, and I was able to slip it up, which is also very, very important, because I would not touch the zipper with a 10-foot pole. Leave it alone. Well made, well sewn, I would say, yeah. It's not the greatest fabric, but again, it's pleather, but I would say that this pleather is better than that one. That one is a little bit different. On the inside, that skirt, that fan girdle skirt, had a little bit of almost fleecy interior. A bit more basic, but I like this one better because I feel like it's a little bit, it kind of does a little bit more what it says. Like, I am pleather, I am synthetic. And I wanted that general look to it because it looked like they were wearing garbage bags in the video. But will this last you? Yes, I think that this can last you. Just don't use the zipper. The final thing I got, and I didn't actually do the try on for, is because I wanted to get an idea of the fabric. So Shein is doing a new, they have other designers, and they have a shop on Shein called Daisy, which is meant to be more higher quality, better fabrics, that kind of thing. And being a person, when, you know, I'm a designer as well, and my shop, I use cotton. I love cotton. I love jersey. I like that feel of things. So I wanted to try out their cotton because since I know cotton so well, that's what I use as a little bit of a marker. So I ordered something from Daisy. When you're ordering fast fashion, I think looking at sets is really important because their sets are not expensive and you're getting more for your money. So what this came with, these are like palazzo pants. And what I did like about them, I do prefer a bigger waistband than this, but at least it wasn't one of those little thin waistbands, but it has a thicker waistband nonetheless. Black cotton. Could you get away with wearing these outside? Absolutely. I think that they're kind of intended for like loungewear, but you can get away with this. If you wear this with like a bodysuit or something, I guess cardigan that goes with it. It's really basic, but long sleeve. You can change up the buttons if you want. But very useful. So the reason why sets are really good, you're not spending a lot of money. I don't think this was any more than, I think, $20. I could be wrong, but I have gotten sets from there before that was less than that. And you're getting 2 to 3 pieces at a time. So you're kind of getting 3 for the price of 1. And this whole thing, pants, camisole, cardigan, they can be worn individually or they can be worn interchangeably. You can wear the cardigan alone, you can wear the pants with something else, you could wear the camisole with, say, a skirt or whatever, and you kind of added 3 pieces to your wardrobe. Now, as far as fabric is concerned, it's a good cotton. Is it the best cotton? No. I would say if you're going into it expecting American Apparel, you're not going to get that. It's not the lowest quality. So it's a 94% cotton, 6% elastane. So like I said in the beginning, that elastane is what's going to give you that stretch. It's not four-way stretch. I prefer a good four-way stretch, but it's two-way stretch. So it's going to stretch horizontally, just not vertically. But you don't really need it to stretch vertically. It just feels better. When I always talk about ease of movement, you always want to feel like everything is flowy. Everything feels like pajamas. I love things that feel like pajamas. And this is something I didn't model in the video, but I did wear. My friend came over for a facial and we did the whole treatment. And while I was doing the treatment, I was wearing this and it was so comfortable and so cozy. And I just kind of lounged around in it all night. As far as I would say caliber of cotton, it's mid-range. It's not your best quality, but it's not your lowest quality either, because I've gotten things that have called itself cotton that I don't know what the heck it was made out of, but it definitely wasn't cotton. This, a good tell for bad cotton is you're going to find a sheen to it. Another one, transparency. Minimal transparency here. Now, I should have done the test. I might do a bit of an update, but I want to know if you can see underpants through this. Like if I wore these pants outside, could you see on a sunny day? So I'm going to use this light as an example. I have a light right here. If you're going into this expecting, say, American Apparel quality cotton, you're not going to get that. You're going to be very disappointed, but you're also not getting a cheap cotton either. This is a good mid-range. So as far as lastability is concerned, will this last you and will it stand the test of time, or is this something that you're going to have to throw out? If you ever turn any of your garments inside out, particularly a t-shirt, you've probably seen the inside look like this. If you ever wondered what stitch that is, so this is called a serge. There's a particular sewing machine, it's just a serger that does this, and it's what holds things together. I have one, it's amazing, I love my serger. Even the serge on the Cotton by Daisy is better than on the pleather. So I'd have to agree that they're not blowing smoke, that when they mention that the Daisy line is a higher quality, I would agree with that because the fabric is better and it's sewn a bit better. So it looks like a little bit more attention to detail and care was taken. I wish they would take that approach with everything. Other tips to prolong the life I would recommend is hand washing. And if you can't hand wash, at least machine wash on cold, but keep it away from the dryer. Avoid heat at all costs. Heat tends to minimize the life of things. So you want to allow this to dry on a hanger. Just let it dry hanging up and you'll find that it will last you a lot longer. That's my take on everything. I hope that you found it useful, and on to the try on.